Hey everyone, Fella's Life here. Today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and impressions on the vault-tec DLC and if I think it's worth it or not. Before I continue, this video will have two parts. Part 1 will be spoiler free and part 2 will not. I'll give 10 seconds notice before progressing on to the second spoiler part. Okay, well first off, I'd like to just say I would recommend this DLC for those who enjoy to be creative and enjoy the settlement mode, because there isn't really that much beyond that but a few fun quests. This is 100% a workshop DLC and doesn't venture very far from that. There are a few fun fetch quests and very little backstory. It has a few fun references to Dr. Braun and Folly 3, which I thought was quite fun. That said, for $5 or £4, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. I've played for over 10 hours so far, and there's still a lot left to do. But again, it's only really for those who like to be creative and like the workshop aspects. Other than that, there's about 2 to 1 hours of gameplay and quests. This DLC adds quite a few new items to the workshop, including furniture, vault parts, and the experiments. One thing I'd like to say about that is there isn't really that much choice in the experiments as we were led to believe. It's basically a do or don't from the start, and they come incrementally. Okay, now it's time to go on to the spoiler part. Okay, so the quest starts as most do. You get a radio signal with a distress call, and once you've listened through that, the quest starts.
This is an emergency broadcast signal from Vault 88. Authentication code word, impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available vault-tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will...
So you get a marker for Vault 88, which is guarded by raiders. This isn't much of a challenge beyond level 40. Once they're dealt with, you go down into the little room and you'll find a entrance to Vault 88. You get the option to do a stealth attack on a few people trying to jury-rig the control panel, but they're obviously unable to get in because they don't have a Pip-Boy. Okay, so once you've got into the vault, basically you get asked to find the control board to activate the workshop. You do that, and you find it on an old ghoul, which isn't very hard to kill. You basically a couple shots and he's dead.
Free for the taking.
You clear away some rubble and you find the Overseer down in a massive room with quite a lot of supplies lying around, and it looks like the vault never got finished. You meet the Overseer of the vault. She basically just hands all the controls over to you with little to no questions asked. She makes a few fun references to the psychotic Dr. Braun from Fallout 3, which I thought was quite fun. Next, basically, you open up the room by clearing away more rubble and you unveil 3 massive directions, but you have to activate 3 more workshops by finding 3 more control panels. You run into a few mole rats and the odd death claw along the way. But once that's done, you're left with a massive build area to start building your vault. Strangely, you don't get asked to start building the vault, but in fact, you get asked to interview a few candidates for the vault. You meet the Overseer in the entrance to the vault, and there's 3 people standing there. The first one's sort of okay, the second one's a scumbag,
Don't mind, I'm anxious to look around.
and the last one's just a dopey twat, which I let in anyway because she said basically he was perfect for the experiment. Come to think of it, she basically just manipulates you to pick your choice. It's basically, if you don't pick this person, you're a scumbag.
Sure. I'll answer anything you like.
Now we progress on to the experiments. Basically, she asks you if you want to do the experiments, and you're like, yeah. If you say no, basically the quest doesn't progress. At this point, I wasn't really feeling too much in control of the vault. Basically, the Overseer's taking control of everything. The first experiment was pretty funny. It was like a little bike thing. I thought it was pretty fun, but you didn't really get too much choices with it. Basically, it's tell this guy to jump on this bike and do this thing.
I'll do well. Promise.
The next experiment involves you going into an experimental drug lab to get some chemicals for a soda machine. The experimental drug lab's pretty funny, as there is quite a lot of drugged out gunners there, especially this little guy.
Here,
After you do that, you install it into the vault, and it basically increases the happiness of the dwellers. There's a couple more experiments, but I'm not really going to get into them. The building parts are a little bit finicky, but once you get used to them, it's fine. You can build some pretty cool looking rooms, and the furniture definitely helps to make it look like a vault. So far, I'm about 10 hours into the DLC, and I haven't really built too much of the vault, so it does take quite a long time to build. Anyway, I hope you guys found this review useful in your decision on buying it or not, and don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and if you didn't, don't, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one.